Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here joined with my guy Andres Cortes, who makes his ring return May 10th at the Pachinko Arena, San Diego, who takes on Salvador Jimenez. Um, First and foremost, man, how excited to be back in the ring. I know it's been a little bit. I know you've been itching to want to punch someone in the head. So, how's this been?
You know, it's been good just taking my foot off the gas a little bit and just kind of learning and growing and just kind of just seeing on the mistakes I was doing, during camp that I wasn't able to catch while I was doing it. And now, outside of camp I can obviously, tune up those little mistakes I was making.
I know you had a fantastic fight with Abraham Nova, and I
Yeah.
know that as much of a competitor that you are, you've had tremendous performance prior back-to-back
Yeah.
knockouts and
Yeah.
so I know with you, I know there's certain things that you probably look back into that fight and
Yeah.
probably critique. I'm just curious on what were those things because I know Nova is a great opponent, so
Yeah.
it's obviously a better competition, but just wanted to get your thoughts on your
Uh,
assessment.
I mean, I just, didn't feel 100% me. I didn't, I missed weight, so I wasn't at 100. Um, and I think, a lot of people do look at that fight and think that that's my, best version, which is not even. I think I was probably 50% there. So, I mean, just getting to the fight a lot healthier, and I think that's really it. So I think my next performance will see a much better version of myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I asked that because I've seen you in the
Yeah,
gym do a lot of
yeah,
great
yeah,
things, and I know that there's probably an extra gear, that
yeah,
was probably held back. So,
yeah,
wanted to get your thoughts on your opponent, Salvador Jimenez. Going into this fight, durable guy, from Spain, and I know that he's coming in wanting to upset the apple cart, knowing how high you're ranked and how close you are for a world title opportunity. So, just wanted to
yeah.
get your thoughts on him and how do you feel he'll kind of stack up.
I'm not taking this guy lightly. I'm going in there and doing what I got to do, and I think that's give the fans a good knockout. I'm definitely, like I said, I'm not overlooking this guy. I know he's coming to win, but I got other plans.
Mhm. Is it safe to assume that other plans is maybe Emmanuel Navarrete, that's kind of being built up, just maybe potentially on.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely one call away from that fight. So it's very, very close, and I do think it makes sense. You would have two guys that are, I don't think a lot of guys are willing to stand toe to toe with Navarrete, but I'm definitely one of those guys that are willing. I'm gonna test them. So I think we would give the fans what they want to see.
Of course. I know originally, you were knocking on Oscar Valdez's door and kind of
Yeah.
wanted to fight him and seeing now that, Oscar's fought, Navarrete twice. Do you feel that this is a better opportunity? I know Oscar had that name recognition at that point, but is Navarrete now a better opponent to kind of get your world championship fight opportunity with, or just big name in general?
Um, you know, uh, I mean, I'm not gonna run from any check, so I think whatever,
So
whatever,
Valdez is still there, right? Did you
yeah,
say?
yeah, whatever, opportunity presents itself. So whatever. Like I said, I'm not running from a check. So
Mhm. You've been in a ring with a lot of great, champions, I would say now, and I'm just curious, like throughout this camp and throughout that, break that you had, how was training camp? Is there certain people you've worked with that's been a little bit different? Have you done something a little, you and your brother have tried that's a little different for this one?
pretty much I was just staying in the a lot in the physical gym mainly.
Hmm.
Just trying to get stronger, just getting my body ready because obviously I knew I was gonna be fighting soon. So I didn't know how soon, but I was just mainly just trying to get stronger and getting more my body more in better shape.
Hmm. When I look at this division, it's pretty loaded with a lot of names.
Yeah,
I know that we talked about Navarrete. There's Oshaki Foster, which is a fight that could be doable. I know Stephen Fulton's thinking about there's rumors, I think, of
Yeah.
possibly going up in your division and fighting him. Raymond Ford has moved up, and so there's a lot of newer names and names that are kind of solidifying. Is there someone that you feel that is potentially the best guy, amongst those champions that are kind of around, or do you still feel like it's potentially Navarrete?
Well, I think Navarrete is the best option
Hmm.
for just because he is avoided, in my opinion. Um, and I mean, we're with the same promotion company. We're not too far away, so I think it could be. I mean, I think that fight could be done
Hmm.
easily. So that's why I say that. And like I said, not too many people want to fight him. So, I'm definitely one of those guys that will be first in line to fight him.
Do you feel like you're kind of the dark horse at 130, just simply because the fact that even the guys that are moving up, Raymond has a name and he's
Yeah.
fought for a title. Fulton, is headline in Vegas and been on pay-per-view. So it seems like all those guys are getting in the mix, but I haven't heard or even heard anybody mention Andre
I
Cortez.
mean, I'm the only undefeated one out of all those names that you just mentioned. So, I mean, I do think I'm definitely the hardest test.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if and they're definitely gonna avoid it because I mean, I think if I wasn't as good as I am, I mean, these guys would be wanting to fight me.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like you've also took risky fights, back to back, pretty
Yeah.
consistent, and you shine with flying colors. So, with this win, do you feel like you have to be in a position to be forced as like an eliminator and then a mandatory and then weights and maybe if one of the guys don't fight you, potentially fight for a vacant title? Do you think that's where it might lead to?
I mean, hopefully, like I said, I'm just trying to fight anyone, any good fight. I mean, I don't even, at this point, I don't even care. I mean,
Yeah.
whoever wants to fight, let's fight. I mean, it's like, I mean, yes, of course, I want a world title fight, but if I gotta, you know, I guess do a mandatory fight, I'm also willing to do that.
Yeah. Kind of like the most redundant thing I keep asking you, right? It
Yeah,
just
yeah, no, it's just like, I mean, I'm willing to step in with anybody, and I
Mhm.
think there's no style matchup that I don't see that would be more difficult. I think, they're all good fighters, but I think figure them all out. So,
Awesome. We always kind of do breakdowns in here and there, and you've sparred, all the guys like Devin,
yeah.
Shakur, and Tank. And so, I mean, by all means, I know there's this big ring magazine card. And plus, I think you're cool with Tio. You've never sparred Tio, all right?
No, I actually beat him in amateur
Okay.
twice.
Well, so I mean, you might as well come to this ring card because there's literally almost, I mean, any history with Rolly or Ryan?
I mean, I was part of the stable with Mayweather Promotions with Rolly.
That's true.
So, yeah, I've known Rolly for a long time. And Ryan, I mean, just amateurs. I've just seen him in amateurs.
So I guess just on a quick take, then just breaking
Yeah.
down. I mean, who wins from Barbosa and Tio?
You know, uh, I mean, it just really depends what Tio shows up.
Mhm.
But I do think Barboza has that style to give Tio a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
And that's just me being very honest because I mean, I don't think we've ever seen Barboza hurt. So, I mean, if he's able to walk through those shots, he's Tio's in for a long night.
yeah. And what do you think about Devin? Because I know a lot of people have kind of had mixed feelings with either Devin's style is going to destroy Jose, or
Yeah.
maybe some concerns about after the Ryan fight that lingers.
Yeah. I mean, stylistically, I think it's the perfect fight for Devin to look
Hmm.
amazing. I do think that he'll be able to box and find his shots. I'm not sure if he'll be able to obviously finish him, but I do think that he'll probably have a one-sided decision.
Yeah. And I think probably the one that probably gets everyone on the edge of their seat. I know Ryan's going to be considered a favorite, but they both throw bombs. I mean, Ryan and
Yeah.
Rolly, do you give Rolly a chance in that fight? I know people think it's essentially a tune-up for Ryan in some people's eyes.
I mean, if Rolly goes out there and really just throw some big bombs and doesn't respect Ryan, you never know. But if I mean he tries, I think box, yeah, I think Ryan will probably find his shot. But like I said, if Rolly just goes in there with no respect, just trying to really hurt Ryan, I
Mhm.
think there's a good chance he does. But like I mean, if he does the opposite, then yeah, I think Ryan's probably gonna end up finding that shot.
Is this kind of a fight who lands first in a case where, or can
No,
Ryan recover from some of the shots and kind of power through? Because he's fought, guys like Oscar Duarte and Tank and kind of got up and or took some shots and
yeah.
continued.
I mean, me just being honest, I just think that I mean, we saw with the last fight, Ryan is just he has that IQ
Mhm.
for those type of fights. So I just wouldn't fight that fight with him. I
Mhm.
think that favors him by far. So if it's a down dirty fight, I think that's a 50-50. So
Mhm. My last one breakdown,
yeah.
you sparred with Tank, and I know a lot of people didn't really think Lamont was going to have a chance outside of the boxing world, but it came down to almost like, some people were torn. Some people feel it was 50-50. I think a lot of people, because of the questionable knee incident, felt that Lamont undoubtedly won. There's rumors, well, I'm hearing that they're going to rematch each other in probably late July, early August. So do you see the fight being the same as the first time?
I don't know, but I thought we were gonna see Jake Paul versus Tank. That's the fight I want to see. I don't really want to see that rematch. I want to see Jake Paul versus Tank
Even
Davis.
with the draw, like, you're a boxing guy. So like, like a part of you was doesn't really like
I just think it'd be a better fight.
really.
Yeah, I will.
I need this breakdown because clearly you see something that a lot of hardcore fans are like, no, you're crazy, man. Tank's gonna knock him out. His inexperience, blah blah blah. Yeah, he's big, but Tank's gonna
I
get him.
mean, I don't know. I think Jake Paul probably find that overhand, Salido style. Would it probably look like Salido versus Lomachenko?
It was that's a messy fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I really thought they were trying to make that happen. So
No,
I mean,
they were.
yeah, so I was more excited for that fight than, if I mean Tank and Lamont, I mean if they do it again, I mean I hope we get a more decisive fight, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You do you think Jake has a chance to beat Tank?
Yeah, of course. I mean, he has he has about like 50 pounds on him, so yeah, that was more. I just thought that would be more an exciting fight because I thought someone was probably going to get knocked out.
Oh wow. Granted, saying that Tank could knock out Jake, but Jake could knock out Tank,
Yeah,
and
he'll find a body shot. He could find it. You know, I'm sure Tank has power to put a lot of guys out. So
but you've been in the ring with Tank, so it's just
yeah,
like, you know, you know more than I do. So it's very interesting that you're more excited for a Jake Paul fight and you give Jake a chance to knock him out. Even hinting
yeah,
body shot. I mean, we're going straight to the to the
yeah,
prediction.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, Jake Paul hits hard, so
Yeah.
I don't know, but
We
yeah,
you know who hits hard? Andre Cortez. And
yeah, of course.
when you make your ring return on May 10th, on ESPN out in San Diego at the Pachango Center, what do you want the fans to know? Like by not just watching this interview, but by the end of that fight, what do you want to tell them? What can they expect from you? And what do you want them to know leading to the future of this year?
I'm definitely going in there to impress, everyone with this fight. I'm going in there, and I'm looking for a knockout and I'm gonna get the knockout. Then, hopefully we can make a big fight happen. And I want the hardest fight for me. So
Mhm.
I want the biggest test for me. And I think as of right now, that would be Navarrete. And I think we would give, the fans a fight everyone's gonna want to see. And I think that kind of fight will be one of the best fights people have seen in a while. So you know, hopefully we get that done this year.
So, and where can they follow you on social media?
On Instagram, Andres Cortes 97, and Facebook, Andres Cortes.